Lions fans, we end the season in the best case scenario, man. My prediction was 10-7 in the worst case, 12-5 in the best, and that's what we did. 12-5 on the season from the Detroit Lions. We finished against the Minnesota Vikings here at home. Devastating injury that we definitely have to talk about. Could definitely hurt the offense. But we have to see what shakes out for the rest of the NFL, who will be facing in the playoffs. All of those questions still loom. Let's talk about it. All right, Lions fans. So first and foremost, we just got to talk about the most obvious thing. The dark cloud that's glooming over us right now. Sam Laporta, and I'm just going to say it, most likely a torn ACL. Our record-breaking Pro Bowler, tight end, rookie tight end, in a situation where we're playing and jockeying for a position, trying to get a second seed where a lot of people may feel like, we should have held players out. You can only hold out so many players. Freak accidents happen, but definitely a tough situation for us to deal with. And he's a humongous part of our offense because he's Jared Goff. He's one of Jared Goff's safety blankets. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Lions do because Brock Wright is also hurt. Mitchell is probably a guy that we're going to have to look to. We're going to have to look to mix things up on the offensive end. Jameson Williams didn't play today, but he will be available in the playoffs for us. So, man, this is tough. What do we do here? We just have to wait and see. But does it hurt the offense to where I feel like we can't go and win games in the playoffs? Absolutely not. There were games this season where Sam Laporta just wasn't that big of a contributor against some of the top linebackers in this league, and we still found ways to win. So I think the Detroit Lions will find ways to win. We have to utilize other talent. We have plenty of it, and we get out of this game without devastating injuries on the defensive side of the ball. That's going to help us out a lot. Even though we had a couple of threats to injury, we seen some guys get up slow, Anzalone to, Aiden Hutchinson got up limping after one of his plays, man. Brian Branch went out, came back in. It was so much going on, man. Then Amon-Ra St. Brown on the offensive end, where the big guy decided to put his knee into his chest, was over there, wincing and massaging that rib area, that lower stomach area. So I don't think any of those things will hold any of these guys out. So that's big time for the Detroit Lions. We limp into the playoffs simply because of the Laporta injury and the magnitude of what he means to this team, which just sucks, man. It absolutely sucks. You want to see this team get out of this thing without injuries, right? A lot of people said that the Lions should have rested players. Me personally, I'm not a guy that's on the train for trying to go and get the second seed because it's a huge long shot. But I understand why they did it. So, rather whatever side you on, we're here today. We're going into the playoffs, and we got a job to do. This team is a team I've seen go out in Dallas and win that game, even though technically we didn't. We won that game. I think we can, whoever we go against, man, on any given night, we have a shot. Man. Like I said, we're doing all of these things while we're still a young team, a young and developing team. And I think, the momentum that we have going into the playoffs is going to be big time for the Lions. It's going to be an absolute madhouse of, anybody that tries to play here at Ford Field, I feel sorry for you. It's going to be ridiculous because today the Vikings couldn't hear anything. But, like I said, we still have to, fix a few things, make some adjustments because the secondary looked like they had some moments out there where the communication just wasn't there. Guys were letting guys get by, especially late in the game. letting guys run by, man, and it caused big plays, and it allowed the Vikings to get more points than they should. The strategy with guys like Jefferson is, listen, we're not going to double Jefferson. We're not. We're going to play our corners on him. We're going to allow Justin Jefferson to do what he does, but nobody else can do anything else. You're not going to run the ball on us. You're not going to abuse us with tight ends. You're not going to have other receivers abuse us either. That was the game plan going into this thing, man. So, yeah, you've seen big numbers from him. You've seen guys like CeeDee Lamb in the same situation, even though we won that game, even though technically we lost. But that's just what it is. That's the strategy right now. And, whether it's a good strategy or not, obviously it works. It works. And like I said, you can only do so much with this defense. You really can only do so much with this defense, man. These guys that we have right now, those are tough matchups for those dudes. And if you go and try to, if you stop sending the heat that we've been sending over the last 4 to 5 weeks, you put yourself in a situation where a quarterback has time, and you're really going to see what type of package you got back there in your secondary. So, you're going to see a situation where it's harder for guys like Hutchinson and some of those other guys that you're sending through the defensive line to get those sacks to create pressure. It's the only way that we can create pressure. So you have to, it's either one or the other. It's one or the other. You can't have it split down the middle. It's one or the other. And right now, what's been working is sending that pressure, and then those guys on the back end, they're just going to have to do what they do out there. So that's just what it is. We're in a situation where we just cannot allow quarterbacks to have time back there to throw the football. Period. So, take it or leave it, but that's what it is. Dan Campbell, he's going to take a lot of flack for having guys out there. Obviously, the big injury. I'm preparing myself to hear all the crying and whining this week from a bunch of grown men. So, but like I said, it's a situation where, hey, you don't want to try to be, too safe in this situation. You don't want to have guys sit out an entire game at the end of the season, and then come playoffs, guys are rusty. Guys been sitting, so, and sometimes injuries happen from that. So, we're a type of team is pedal to the metal all the time. You want to stick with that identity. You want to, injuries are freak accidents, man. They're going to happen. They're going to happen. So, like I said, it's going to be a 50-50 split when it comes to that decision to play guys. So, we all understand that. What's going to happen now? Do we face a Green Bay team? Do we face Matthew Stafford, who I think, is what's going to end up happening? The NFL is the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So let's just leave it at that. We're not going to go into King's conspiracies. We'll leave it at that. But whoever we face, we got to come out running. We got to come out swinging. So a lot of players are going to be dinged up, but I think momentum is going to carry a lot of that. So a lot of the, these guys are going to be juiced. Let's just say that. We're going to be at home. It's going to be a crazy experience. Whether we only win one playoff game or not this season, I'll be happy with that. One game, I'm happy with that. If we don't win the first playoff game, so be it. Not going to say I'm going to be happy about it, but so be it. We're going to stick consistent of what stage this team is at. And if we can go further, that's a plus. That's a plus. Because like I said, we have to finish filling out this roster. It's not complete yet. So, which is crazy to say. That is so crazy to say. And that's frightening for a lot of other fan bases due to the youth on this team and what you're getting out of it. Guys like Pascal, you see him today. You know what I'm saying? Guys are catching on at the right time. Even Onzarike got a sack today. You see guys catching on. Most likely you probably might hear from James Houston. So, man, Great situation. Great situation that Brad Holmes has built here for this team, and man, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. So, with that said, man, take care of business. Now it's time to sit back and watch some more football. And at the end of the night, we'll know what's what, right? So, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't let the Laporta injury beat you down too much. I promise you, this offense will still be very fluid. It'll still be very fluid, and I think we have more than enough firepower, to be able to deal with that. So, with that said, leave it in the comments section, man. What you thought about today's game? What you thought about the decision to play these guys, and how you feel about the Laporta injury. Leave all of that in the comments section, man. Make sure you smash the like button for your boy. And share this content on your social media, man. With that said, I'll catch you guys for Victory Monday. Peace.